Alright, this is only a test. The emergency broadcast system. No, it's just another Trusty Monday Night Raw. Monday Night Raw, welcome. I'm totally trying to see how this works in this hotel room. Got some background noise going on, some naked and afraid. I don't know, they're in the cold somewhere with furs and stuff. I don't know, it's a little ridiculous, but anyway, we'll not concern ourselves with that. Doing well this evening. What do you think about this? Oh, it's not visible. I keep forgetting that. I have to do it. Anyway, doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Come bearing. Nothing new. Nothing new tonight. Everything looks really good so far. This is the actual room I'm in, which not bad. Hey, check our phone. Important. Turning the ringer on to vibrate. Prioritizing. Learning to walk again. The Trustee Podcast. Mister, have you got the time? All day, every day. Logic. And I didn't do the. Oh, yeah, that's right. I gotta do that other thing. I copied, but I did not paste. There it is. Simulcasting on Twitch and YouTube with StreamYard. Some people like StreamYard, some people don't. It is what it is. Anyway, we do the same thing with. Oh, we can. Both. Very good. All right. Just let me know if my connection sounds like shit. I wasn't able to bring my mic, so it seems like it's been doing pretty well. Did I say something about Twitch? Never mind. I'm totally baked. Getting baked. It's Monday Night Raw. Ooh. This could be interesting. Let's look at this one. Can't wait to start this week at work. It's going to be great. I know it. I can feel it. I'm a winner. Now I'm an onion. Oh. That just got weak. Weak. So that gets better.
I was born in the 1970s, so I spent about half of my life without any internet or cell phone. Both have caused a noticeable change in the populace, and it's a change that concerns me. You see, when I was young, most of our information about current events came from the news, which was limited to very few outlets and time slots, so it represented a tiny fraction of our lives. The news usually led with things like war, crime, natural disasters, etc. And then it moved on to less provocative things like sports and weather. This principle had a slogan: if it bleeds, it leads. This takes advantage of human nature. You will have an easier time capturing people's attention with strife and trouble because people are naturally motivated by self preservation. This is why it's easier for us to remember negative things than positive things. It's simply the way we evolved to avoid danger. Those of us who successfully avoided danger ended up surviving and procreating. Stories that exploit that aspect of human nature get higher ratings. This is one of the main reasons I've been so critical of religion. You see, religion also uses fear, strife, and negativity to perpetuate itself. No, not all the time, and no, not all religious people, but oftentimes it invents problems or points to real problems, claims that it's further evidence our doom is imminent, and then blames specific groups of people. Then,
Whoa, buddy, pull them reins. That is entirely too serious for me right now. We got an hour. It's true. It's very true. Um, you are lied to every day, and yeah, no, I tend to agree with a lot of that. But whoa, buddy, that was a lot. Okay, what are we doing here? I've got this. Well, I'll just show you. No reason to hide from you. So I've stopped smoking tobacco, but oop, that's the wrong way. I've been buying these, chewing on until the wheels fall off. No. I call it a pacifier, but it's better than smoking. I like that, I'm in control. I can have it, I can play with it, I can put it in my mouth. And then, no, it's an interesting. Wait, what am I doing? Uh, La Perla Habana Cazadores. So, yeah. Tastes good when you don't smoke it. OBKB. Man gets OWI after rear-ending school bus and walking away. Talking with a Satanist at Planned Parenthood. Oh, that's that Apologia guy. William Freeman. 3 weeks ago. I swear I saw that guy like yesterday or something. Okay, was I in this stream? Oh.
Good morning, pretty babies. It's Wilton Friedman.
Who's that guy?
And this is like an unofficial part two. This is actually really impromptu.
Oh, yeah.
I was gonna
That's
have
funny.
more on, and if some of the folks that I had intended to join me in this, like if they hit me up, they'll know who they are because I'll let them in. But I'm gonna start out before I even think about letting anybody in, talking about open theism. I heard, and I was very pleased, by the way, that Brojo had, I don't know how to even describe what he did. He live streamed a live stream or a restream of a live stream. I don't know exactly how that worked, but I know he had a Christopher Fisher's commentary on Pine Creek talking to a libertarian monergist, if I'm saying that right.
What?
But anyway, some of the comments and the shock that I was getting. Oh, look at that. Look at that. There's hubby and Erica. Nice. Yes, yes. Hubbles and Erica. Good to see you. Yeah. So I'm definitely, because Sammy was one of the ones that I had said I would like to have on here for this as my anti-theist counterpart. So, Sammy, if you want to
Click on that. If you want to click on the little button on the link, just click on the link and then you can come in. And then we
I'm
can
afraid that
discuss
might
these
make
things
people
together.
dizzy.
That was ridiculous. I can't explain why I just did that. So I won't even try. But anyway, so Brojo and Simos, forgot who else was in there. A few people were in there, and they were discussing the open theism thing, right? And their reaction to it. And I thought it was interesting because I had just said the other day that I hadn't heard anybody say, "Hey, Calvinists are the most rational or logical about the Bible and the religion and all." And sure enough,
I can see why they would be. So yeah, I carried it around for a little while. I played with it, took it out of the package as I smelled it, and then I cut the end off of it, soaked it in a little bit of scotch. You're playing with it. What are we talking about? Okay. Anyway, dead people aren't alive. I think it says we finished the video, so I'm just gonna remove that from the watch later. And Jamie and I have spoken about possibly having a dialogue on here, so or somewhere, maybe over there. I don't know. Oh gosh. All right, yeah. Let's laugh. We'll laugh together. Be fun.
One, biblically / awesomely God exists. So my justification for
No,
this again, don't
it
interrupt me,
doesn't.
don't interrupt me, don't interrupt me. So again, I'll
Go
simplify
go
this. I'll
first.
simplify my justification. One sentence. Absoluteness means a consciousness because free will is independent through the law and spiritual law of cause and effect. Respond.
Okay.
And
And
time.
Therefore, biblically / awesomely God exists. Respond.
I think so, but okay.
You just
He
presupposed God
what?
again when you said I again. For you to identify your humanness, you appeal to God as He is absolute perfection. So biblically, God exists through sacred theology,
Problem is,
dichotomously.
problem is you think I do, but I don't.
Again, you're
Don't fucking
presupposing God. When you say
You
I,
you
you are you are
So
you
asinine.
referencing God.
okay.
Ontotheology
Okay.
inferences creatures' self-identification.
I'm using the simple English language because okay, whatever.
I am too.
No,
So God exists through sacred theology, dichotomously backing the creator-creature distinction doctrine. Simply, ontotheology / agape theism entails divine revelation for fatherhood to personal creatures. Simplistically, an ultimate, truthful, loving being necessitates general / natural
agape. I always get that confused with like agave, like the cactus, right? Yeah.
revelation respecting parenthood to conscious temporalities. More clearly, an absolute, eternal, and all knowing mind elicits meta ontotheological omnibenevolence and sacred theology regarding marriage to actualized sentient creatures. Ontotheologically,
Oh, okay, and
that's my justification for premise one. Biblically / awesomely, God exists.
okay.
What the biblically / awesomely God exists? According to the Bible, God exists and it's awesome. According to the awesome Bible, God exists. I'm not even trying. I'm not even trying.
Respond.
Respond to what?
To premise one.
Could you repeat the premise?
Oh god.
Biblically / awesome to
I'm referencing because it's most of these kind of not humans. Wait a second. This part of the uh, um, people who are it's, sorry.
More speechless than I am.
Said me.
Yes, because
That's it.
you are a creature, you reference God as He is ultimate truthful love.
No,
What?
no,
Yes.
you trying to.
As a creature, you reference God whose ultimate truthful love? Where? What? Why? When? How?
Take in a billion built on the my answer and whatever. But no, I'm just high. I am.
You say I'm just high.
I'm.
You're not God.
Uh,
So the
oh,
only two things that can
I'm not.
exist
I'm
is
not.
God and
I'm not
temporalities.
God. I'm not God. I'm not. I don't. Yeah. I am alone. I'm just me. That's it.
Yes, you are a creature contingent on God as he is ultimate truth. So for you to identify
shit.
facts, so that's one example. A second example is that to identify physicalities, the scientific method presupposes God as he is
How's that?
immaterial, truthful love.
What?
So premise one,
You
don't interrupt me.
complete
Don't interrupt me. Premise one still remains
Okay,
standing against
okay.
you.
Go
Premise
for it.
one, premise one, biblically / awesomely, God exists. Respond.
Okay, continue, please.
It's your turn to respond, so you have to.
Well, I happen to have access to this book you like so much. See, we look in the book of Judges. In the book of Judges. Chapter 1. After the death of Joshua, the people of Israel inquired of the Lord, who shall go up first for us against the Canaanites to fight against them? So Josh died, and then Israel wanted to fight the Canaanites. Okay. The Lord said, Judah shall go up. Behold, I have given the land into his hand. And Judah said to Simeon, his brother, Come up with me into the territory allotted to me, that we may fight against the Canaanites, and I likewise will go with you into the territory allotted to you. So Simeon went with him. Then Judah went up, and the Lord gave the Canaanites and the parasites. I feel like I should be saying parasites into their hand. But they defeated 10,000 of them at Bezek, a berserker at Bezek. They found Adonai Bezek at Bezek and fought against him and defeated the Canaanites and the Perizzites. Adonai Bezek fled. I assume this is a person of the place or whatever, something like that. But they pursued him and caught him and cut off his thumbs and his big toes. Wow. They cut off his thumbs and his big toes. That's pretty berserk. And Adonai Bezek said, 70 kings with their thumbs and their big toes cut off used to pick up scraps under my table as I have done, so God has repaid me. And they brought him to Jerusalem, and he died there. And the men of Judah fought against Jerusalem, and captured it, and struck it with the edge of the sword, and set the city on fire. And afterward the men of Judah went down to fight against the Canaanites, who had lived in the hill country in the Negeb, and in the lowland, and Judah went against the Canaanites who lived in Hebron. Now the name of Hebron was formerly Kiriath Arba, Arba, Arabian Nights, and they defeated Shishai and Ahiman and Talmai. From there they went against the inhabitants of Debir. The name of Debir was formerly Kiriath Sefer. Okay. And Caleb said, He who attacks Kiriath Sefer and captures it, I will give him Aksa, my daughter, for a wife. Oh, he's just going to give his daughter away for a wife. What an upstanding citizen. And Othniel, the son of Kenaz, Caleb's younger brother, captured it and gave him Aksa, his daughter, for a wife. Oh, okay. And when she came to him, she urged him to ask her father for a field, and she dismounted from her donkey. Well, at least she had a donkey. And Caleb said to her, What do you want? She said to him, Give me a blessing, since you have set me in the land of the Negeb. Give me also, that almost sounds like a slur, doesn't it? It's like, since you sent me out into the freaking desert with these weirdos, at least give me, give me also springs of water. And Caleb gave her the upper springs and the lower springs. Yeah, cool story, bro.
To accept premise 1 before we move on to premise 2?
I don't accept one
You've just
at
contradicted
all.
yourself because, again, for you to say I,
No.
you are referencing God to identify your creatureliness.
Wait a second. How uh what do you say?
What I
Uh,
mean, again, is
I,
that you are appealing to the attributes of God to identify yourself as God is our ultimate standard for
no,
facts.
it's for you. Uh, uh, Parts of the God or whatever.
Everybody knows God
Hey,
exists.
So going back to the book now, 16. This is Judges 16. And the descendants of the Kenite, Moses' father-in-law, went up with the people of Judah from the city of palms into the wilderness of Judah, which lies in the Negeb near Arad. And they went and settled with the people. And Judah went with Simeon, his brother, and they defeated the Canaanites who inhabited Zephath and devoted it to destruction. 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 So the name of the city was called Hormah. Judah also captured Gaza with its territory, and I know that place. I know where that is. And Gaza with its territory, and Ashkelon with its territory, and Ekron with its territory. And the Lord was with Judah, and he took possession of the hill country, but he could not drive out the inhabitants of the plain because they had chariots of iron. Damn iron chariots. And Hebron was given to Caleb as Moses had said, and he drove out from it the 3 sons of Anak. But the people of Benjamin did not drive out the Jebusites who lived in Jerusalem, and so the Jebusites have lived with the people of Benjamin in Jerusalem to this day. Did you know that? Factoids, Bible. Um, 22. The house of Joseph also went up against Bethel, and the Lord was with them. The house of Joseph scouted out Bethel. Now the name of the city was formerly Luz. And the spies saw a man coming out of the city, and they said to him, Please show us the way into the city, and we will deal kindly with you. And he showed them the way into the city, and they struck the city with the edge of the sword, but they let the man and all his family go. What? They struck the city with the edge of the sword, but to let the man and his family go? What does that mean? Hillary's email. No, we're just. I don't know. I'm just hanging out. There's no topic here. We don't do that. Logic, help me. I'm just getting my bearings back after a long. I got to go back to work tomorrow, but trying to just stay on schedule. And I was like, hey, I've got a Bible here, and I'm listening to this guy talk about. I don't know what he's talking about, so we'll just split it 50-50 right down the middle and see what happens. So we're reading Judges out of the Gideon Bible, so in the hotel I'm at. And I don't know. I keep having like shaky internet connection. It's probably because I'm sharing YouTube, as that always happens here. And I'm multi-streaming to YouTube and the other one, Twitch. 26. And the man went to the land of the Hittites and built a city and called its name Luz. That is its name to this day. I don't read biblical names very well. It's not something I practice very often. Manasseh did not drive out the inhabitants of Beth Shean and its villages, or Tanakh and its villages, or the inhabitants of Dor and its villages, or the inhabitants of Ibleam and its villages, or the inhabitants of, oh my good God, Megiddo. I know where that place is too. I've heard of that place, Megiddo and its villages, for the Canaanites persisted in dwelling in that land. Yes, Arbiter of Truth. Very good book. I don't understand. Help me. Logic, help me.
Not for me.
Yes, you just presuppose God again. You are appealing to the attributes of God as he is
No,
absolute, eternal, and
I
revelatory.
don't.
You are, you just did again.
How I did that?
You're
How I did
presupposing
that?
God. So you are appealing
No.
to the actuality of God for you to identify your humanness, complementing the creator creature distinction
No.
doctrine, Romans 1:17 to 20, 2 Peter 3:9. So
Yeah, I guess to like clarify on that a bit, I've been my last couple of streams were like come in and debate me and tell me why I should believe in God, man, and all that stuff. And then I was like, yeah, I'm kind of good on that now a little bit. Like, I'll still talk about it, but we got to have some kind of like, I don't know, we got to be able to come to some common, what do you call it, grounding, grounding the conversation. You know, like this conversation, I find it fascinating. It's enjoyable. It's funny. It's comical to me, but I don't know how I'd argue against Ultimated Judeo-Christian either. It's like, okay, so can you pick a chapter and verse and show me why I should believe this? Just this one thing in the Bible. So I just picked one at random, and here we are now. But yeah, if you have some other reason that I should believe that I need God to grant me the serenity to accept the, I just need to like, whatever. I just need to maintain my own logical lifestyle and you know, let bygones be bygones and people be what they may be. And that's fine with me. Every day is a winding road. Um, damn it, Jim. We've gone off the rails. I don't know why I needed to. I don't need, I have to explain myself to you guys. I feel pretty good, though. I feel, I know my station. I know what I'm doing. And go to bed early and wake up tomorrow and helping people.
so you are presupposing premise one of my
eh,
argument that
No.
biblically slash
I
awesomely
just
God exists.
so saying no to a retard is
I'm not.
acknowledging for God.
That was not very nice.
Again,
I
you
don't
are
appreciate that.
presupposing God equals A. So God equals an ultimate fact,
What?
and an ultimate fact equals God.
No. What ultimate fact? No. We don't have to acknowledge that premise. That's what are you talking about?
So premise one of my argument is an ultimate fact.
No.
So you just have to accept that
No.
before we move on to premise two.
No.
So
That's
premise
not the way
one,
arguments work, sir. Have we I feel like
biblically
we've been here
slash
before.
awesomely God exists. Reply.
The thing is, I don't understand. I don't accept your first premise.
You
I
just
think I know what he's on about, Spooky. I mean, he is there is some logic behind his argument, but he's trying to be like the nice guy Darth Dawkins. Like he's like, I'm going to force you to accept this premise by just saying a bunch of shit that you can't really make sense of in the moment, and you can't refute it either. If you can't make sense of it, then I'm just calling you dumb because you can't accept my argument. And it seems so simple because I just want to be God's best friend, man. That's my objective in life and it should be yours because I think it's the full and ultimate, total, necessary truth, man. Like, it's really he's just trying to sound a lot more intelligent. Make his argument sound a lot more intelligent than it is. I I think he's funny in contrast to some really abusive hate monger out there. Yeah, I think he's pretty comical.
You just presuppose God again when you said I for the aforementioned reasons, and for you to disagree with something, you reference God as he is ultimate truthful love. So truth is absolute, eternal, and revelatory. truth is a definition for God. So for you to make truth statements, you appeal to the attributes of God to identify things and to make propositions / statements, further complementing the law of irrational inference.
No, no, I don't. Your first proposition. I don't get your first proposition.
So again, you
You
you know
you
God
say you
exists.
said no.
Yes, everybody knows
That's
God
it.
exists.
No.
Yes, because God is love, therefore he would reveal himself to everybody, as God is ultimate truthful love. So he is the precondition for facts. I've laid out two examples in regards to the creator creature distinction
Oh,
doctrine and the
great,
law of rational
but
inference. So premise one still remains standing contra you. Biblically / awesomely, God exists. Respond.
okay, whatever. I don't.
Let me help you. Judges 28. When Israel grew strong, they put the Canaanites to forced labor, but did not drive them out completely. And Ephraim did not drive out the Canaanites who lived in Gezer, so the Canaanites lived in Gezer among them. Zebulun did not drive out the inhabitants of Kitron or the inhabitants of Nahalol, so the Canaanites lived among them and became subject to forced labor. Asher did not drive out the inhabitants of Akko or the inhabitants of Sidon or Al-Lab or Agzib or Helba or Apik or Rio, wherever these places were. So oh my goodness, this is so. I really don't think this is my fault. Are people supposed to really know this stuff anymore? The Asherites lived among the Canaanites, the inhabitants of the land, for they did not drive them out. Naphtali did not drive out the inhabitants of Beth Shemesh or the inhabitants of Beth Anath, so they lived among the Canaanites, the inhabitants of the land. Nevertheless, the inhabitants of Beth Shemesh and Beth Anath came subject to forced labor for them. There's just a whole lot of slavery going on here. Forced labor. Anyway, 34, the Amorites pressed the people of Dan back. I was born in a county called a town called Danville, in a county called Yale. Back into the hill country. Yeah, it's kind of hilly over there too. For they did not allow them to come down to the plain. The Amorites persisted in dwelling in Mount Heres in Ajalon and in Shalbim, but the hand of the house of Joseph rested heavily on them, and they became subject to forced labor. Anyway, and the border of the Amorites ran from the ascent of the Acrabim from the Selah and upward. Selah. I think it's Selah.
You can say whatever. I don't accept your first proposition.
You're presupposing
That's
God
it.
again.
What's up, Math Pig? Good to see you.
When you say I, you are referencing the creator creature distinction doctrine. And for you to disagree with something, you have to have an ultimate standard. God, as God is ultimate truthful love, necessitating him to be the precondition for facts. So
Honestly, you being Cephas is. You think that would be a convincing argument or something?
it's the
Or,
truth by definition, and I've
uh,
justified this with Aristotle's law of identity, so I'll do it again. God equals
being
don't
a
interrupt me, don't
sophist
interrupt me. It's
is
not sophistry, don't interrupt me. God equals an ultimate fact. Also, God
okay.
God equals
Whatever.
God is ultimate truth. God is a brute fact. God is an ultimate fact, and so forth. So premise one is an ultimate fact, a brute fact, ultimate truth, the truth. So you just have to accept premise 1 before we
You
move on.
just
to
have to
premise
accept
2.
my argument.
Premise
I'm
1.
not going to move
Biblically,
on.
Guys,
until
don't
you
interrupt me.
accept-
Don't interrupt me. Premise 1. Biblically
It's
/
not happening, bro.
awesomely, God exists. Reply.
It
okay.
kills me.
Saying 3 times that it's a fact, it doesn't make it a fact.
It's an
Or
ultimate
once
fact.
making a fact, saying it is a fact, it doesn't make it a fact.
It is because God
Or
is ultimate truth
whatever.
definitionally, as
Okay,
God is
oh,
absolute, eternal, and revelatory. Truth
You
/
didn't
information.
say
Don't interrupt me. Don't
anything.
overtalk me.
Just
Don't overtalk me. So the definition of God is truth / information. Information / truth is absolute, eternal, and revelatory. God is absolute, eternal, and revelatory. So for me to say that God is ultimate truth is just a definition to God, a tautology, a synonym, etc. So premise 1 still remains standing against thou. Biblically / awesomely, God exists. Respond.
do you think you
And I think we've had quite enough of that for this particular moment. Well, I don't know. We'll shift gears. Let's see. We'll check Twitter. Ooh, check Twitter. I've got a lot better stuff on my Twitter feed now because like they're allowing me to subscribe to. Anyway, I've got like a lot of cool stuff going on my Twitter feed. Amazingly, in like the realm of whatever topics I'm interested in stuff. So anything to do with all this stupid fucking political drama. Yeah. Oh yeah, my hate seeker tattoo. No, it's nothing like that. People are like, what does that mean? Oh well, it's a pretty angry guy for a while. Pent-up frustration. It's not really funny, but unhappy couple. I don't nothing to see here. As I was like, no, it's not political. Yeah, I like that atheist girl. Down in the bike camera on mine. That looks interesting. Atheist dad. Religious organizations such as Christianity are filthy rich. Didn't JC say that the rich should sell their wealth and give to the poor? I'm pretty sure that's what he said. Oh, I'm not following Dr. Josh for some reason. That's weird. Now I am. Woohoo! Trains. I like trains. I want to get the Amtrak ticket. Um, yeah. Yeah, that would probably irk me a bit. Or I might start playing with it and then get myself in trouble. One or the other. I don't know. What is that? Fill roll? Fill? I don't know what that means. PragerU. Fuck am I supposed to know? We had a lot of bad presidents. Oh, I've still got it on small view. I should have it on big view. That would make it easier for people to see. Yeah, makes sense. It's logical. Logic. Notifications. Uh-oh. That's not good. Oh, that's from a while ago. Hopefully they're doing better with that. Okay, new followers. 8 new followers. David D. Dardishti. Charlie Dave, I also followed. Pink Cloud app. I'm skeptical. Reiki Miller. Is that how I'm pronouncing that? Rocking Mental Health. Jason Kell. Pure Mental Health. Kim. I don't know who Kim is. Kim. Hi, Kim. I definitely can't pronounce your name. Brenna. Joe John Brenna. What? Who the? Anyway, Sarwar. Government job. Atheist Edge. What's up, Atheist Edge? Atheist Edge came by yesterday. Woo! Logic. Molly, Rita, Andrea. I don't know. Phil Calderon. I think, yeah, that's the list. Yeah, we've done these other ones. All right. Following Twitter followers. And I don't know. It's still useful. Maybe it's better than Facebook. Anything's better than, crack and crystal meth. Debate me, bro. Debate me. 42 minutes. I take an intermission. Tell you to treat your mother better. Wait, who am I telling? You or myself? Here's the number. Definitely here in the U.S. I don't know if they get them in the other places. You probably got your own thing. It's probably better than ours, but this is what we got. I'm told. But that's assuming you got the wits about you to call the people who do the services, because that could be anyway. It's a conflict, but eventually everyone's got to ride the bus. All right, let's listen to that one. Yeah, let's do that. See, I was in the middle of listening to James Apperson's video from like a little over a week ago. And I was like, oh, that's a really good freaking stream. And it like totally applies to everything I'm talking about too a little bit. But everybody's got to do their thing. And look, I found this when I was walking down by the river. I had lunch. Oh, that was cool. Somebody made it. I didn't. There's another ad.
Next up, Weird Al Yankovic, who first became known for his parodies of popular rock tunes in 1979 with his parody of a song done by the Knacks, which was called My Sharoma, and Weird Al rewrote it and called it My Bologna. It was recorded in the luxurious state-of-the-art acoustic tile men's bathroom across from his college radio station because they wouldn't let him in the studio. Last September, Weird Al performed his newest parody entitled Another One Rides the Bus. This was done live on the Dr. Demento radio show, with stations across the country carrying this program, reporting an overwhelming problem with listener response. Everybody turned their radio off. Here is Weird Al Yankovic, and the weirdest thing that Al has ever done is one day he took a tire off his father's car and he sucked all the air out of it. He has his partner John Schwartz with him tonight, and they have a song. I can't find the title here. What's the title of this song, Weird Al? It's Another One Rides the Bus. Here is Weird Al Yankovic. Here he is. Weird Al.
Riding in a bus down the boulevard, and the place was pretty packed. I couldn't find a seat, so I had to stand with the perverts in the back. It was smelling like a locker room. There was junk all over the floor. We're already packed in like sardines. We're stopping to pick up more. Look out! Another one rides the bus. Another one rides the bus. And another comes on, and another comes on. Another one rides the bus. Hey, it's gonna sit by you. Another one rides the bus. ribs, there's an elbow in my ear. There's a smelly old bum standing next to me. He hasn't showered in a year. Well, I think I'm missing a contact lens. I think my wallet's gone. I think this bus is stopping again. When I get some more freaks in, I hope to die. Wow, no one bites bus. No one bites bus. And another comes on, and another comes on. No one bites bus. Hey, go sit by you. No one bites bus. Yeah. Another one rides the bus. Another one rides the bus. Ow! Another one rides the bus. Hey, hey! Another one rides the bus. The windows are open and the fan is broke and my face is turning blue. I haven't been in a crowd like this since winter see the who. Well, I should have got off a month ago. I couldn't get through the door. There isn't any room for me to breathe. I'm gonna go, yeah. Another one rides the bus. Another one rides the bus. And another comes on, and another comes on. Another one rides the bus. Hey, you're gonna sit by you. Another one rides the bus.
Well done, everyone. That was Weird Al Yankovic. I'm sorry I had to eat a breadstick, and I won't come on camera and eat in front of you. I just think that's weird.
I'll tell you, when he was a baby, his mother says, "What a picture." His father tried to hang him. A little later in the program, a young lady named Crystal Lorne will join us. She also does this kind of music, and I know you're going to want to stay up for this now. She'll perform what she calls the Space Shuttle Shuffle. It's only been 2 weeks, but she already has written a rock tune for the two guys that went to space and came back down. We'll be right back with more of our show from New York and Los Angeles right after this.
You want to stand out?
And that's another ad.
To outsmart?
As long as they're showing you ads. Give me money. Ha ha ha. Give me money.
What if a mouse could change the world? What if it could be a huge party?
Get out of the street, sir. Trusty Ape fucking podcast. I got another hour in me. Yeah, easily. Mental health helplines. Yeah, it seems like by the time you're calling a mental health helpline, as easy as that is to pronounce, by the time you want to actually call that number, you've like lost the reason to call that number, which is kind of like, yeah, like I've already logicked myself into this friggin', pitiful corner. Like, why would I want to help? At this particular, anyway, yeah, that's like the chronic part about it. Chronic illness, chronic depression, chronic anxiety. No, it's not like a one-time thing. I have to deal with this all the time, all the time. Be the ball, because it's yeah. Anyway, whatever. It's how we survive, or something. I don't know if that makes any sense. Connection seems good when I'm not trying to share things. Oh, how unfortunate. Yeah. I still need to. Tomorrow I'll try to get. I forgot about the holiday. It's both President's Day and Black History Month, and we can look at those things. Oh, yeah. I forgot. I already had, subject matter handed to me by dint of being alive and knowing a couple of random factoids, like American stuff, history things, and what are we talking about? Yeah. Still haven't lit the fucking thing. See? That's self-control. I control the fucking thing. The thing doesn't control me or something like that. That's my motto. Don't wear it out. So I was like, should white people talk about Black History Month? And then, I was answering my own question. I was like, yeah, of course. Absolutely. Everybody should talk about Black History Month as long as it's a thing. What's the thing? What are we doing? What are we talking about? And the history of Black History Month is good enough for me to do that one. And listen to people who are more skillful and probably present better stuff. Oh yeah, and I used the wrong layout again. See, I switched the other one.
It's February, so many teachers and schools are celebrating Black History Month. But there are still many misconceptions and misunderstandings about the past, present, and future of this celebration. So today, I thought we'd go back to the beginning. Hi, this is Mike Hines, and I'm a professor here at the Stanford Graduate School of Education, where my work focuses on the history of America's schools. What we now know as Black History Month had its beginnings as Negro History Week, which was invented by the famed historian, educator, and activist Carter G. Woodson in 1926. Negro History Week was a direct challenge to traditional curricula of the time period, which often degraded and dehumanized Black people. Negro History Week was also inextricably linked to Black calls for social and political equality. More than just a chance to talk about few notable achievements, Negro History Week was a call to action. Although Negro History Week became one of his most widely known interventions, it was only part of Dr. Woodson's efforts to develop, democratize, and disseminate information on Black history. He also pursued this work through the establishment of the Association for Negro Life and History, its journals, the Journal of Negro History, and the Negro History Bulletin, and textbooks, speeches, pamphlets, and materials for every grade level from college down to kindergarten. Now, Woodson didn't do this work alone. Moving from idea to reality took the dedication of thousands of Black teachers, most of them women, who were largely responsible for shaping the celebration through their work in the classroom. It also took the work of entire communities, including churches, fraternities and sororities, libraries and lodges, social clubs, and civic organizations. This reflected Woodson's desire to encourage lay people, not just academics, to preserve and present their own histories. As the movement continued to grow, it outstripped the bounds of a single week, and the word Negro, which was outdated by the 1960s, was replaced by a new generation born and raised in the civil rights struggle. Black History Month emerged in its current form during those decades and is still going strong. So, is this celebration still relevant today? Well, it depends on who you ask. Critics charge that the progress we've made from the 1920s to the 2020s has largely made Black History Month irrelevant. Or that worse, singling out Black history is actually counterproductive to broader efforts at inclusion. Although we may have made progress, however, research from the Southern Poverty Law Center and other sources still shows that we are far from our goal of honoring the multiple voices in our classrooms and challenging dominant narratives. At the same time, new and emerging movements for racial justice call out for historical context, which our schools simply fail to provide. Carter G. Woodson himself was cautiously optimistic that students in the future would no longer need Black History Month if we taught in ways that honored and elevated our students and told their stories all year long. But we're not there yet. So Black History Month will continue to be what it always has been: a celebration, a stinging indictment, and a call to action, all in one.
Interesting. Yes. No, I don't. I think that's a good video. I think it's no, all history. Right. We should have like. Oop, don't do that to your keyboard. It's not healthy. Yeah. Why we have Cinco de Mayo, Oktoberfest, a month for everybody. Why not just like include everyone all the time? That'd be great, but we're not quite there yet, so we have to kind of remind people every once in a while. Hey. My son is a mixed race. Do we say mixed race? How do we say that? My son is yeah, a couple of generations removed from a couple of different countries, but we're all immigrants. Whatever. It's all relative. America, fuck yeah. I don't know what all that means. But I think as long as if you're gonna have Columbus Day, you should have Martin Luther King Day. Or Columbus, discovered nothing, and Martin Luther King, tried to help people. Maybe Columbus was kind of trying to help people too. He just didn't really know it. I don't know. We can get into the ethics of all that, in an ethical conversation. But in the meantime, yeah, we're just dealing with a bunch of weird people on the internet.
Weird people on the internet here.
Where are we in this book? Chapter 2 of this guy. He's judging people and judges, and he's like, now the angel of the Lord went up to Gilgal and Bochim, and he said, I brought you up from Egypt, and I brought you into the land, and I swore to give you your fathers, and I said, I will never break my covenant with you. You shall make no covenant with the inhabitants of this land. You shall break down their altars, but you have not obeyed my voice. What is this you have done? So now I say, I will not drive them out before you, but they shall become thorns in your sides, and their God shall be a snare to you. Uh-oh. That sounds dangerous. As soon as the angel of the Lord spoke these words to all the people of Israel, the people lifted up their voices and wept, and they called them of that place Bochim, and they sacrificed there to the Lord. That means they cut some shit up. They fucking bled them out. Out there, not real nice and sharp. And then when Joshua dismissed the people of Israel went to his inheritance to take the possession of the land. And like, yeah, fuck y'all, I'm taking this shit. And the people served the Lord all the days of Joshua and all the days of the elders who outlived Joshua, who had seen all the great work and that the Lord had done for Israel. Because, yeah, Israel, we're all great in Israel. Hello. And Joshua, the son of Nun and the servant of the Lord, died at the age of 110 years. What a lucky guy. He lived to be 110 years old. Wow. He must have been very logical. And they buried him within the boundaries of his inheritance in the Timnath Heres in the hill country of Ephraim, north of the mountain of Gash. And all that generation also were gathered to their fathers. And there arose another generation after them who did not know the Lord or the work that he had done for Israel. He was ignorant. He was unaware. I'm sorry, you didn't know about the Lord in Israel at that time. It wasn't your fault, but you're fucked. You're fucked. Maybe we'll forgive you. I don't know. We'll see what happens in the next chapter, 11. And the people of Israel did what was evil in the sight of the Lord and served the Baals. They even abandoned the Lord, the God of their fathers, who had brought them out of the land of Egypt. They went after other gods from among the gods of the peoples who were around them and bowed down to them. Because how could they do otherwise? How could you do otherwise? And they provoked the Lord to anger. We're being provocateurs. We're provocating this Lord. We're going to make him very angry. We're going to make him very angry. 13. They abandoned the Lord and served the Baals and the Ashtaroth. So the anger of the Lord was kindled against Israel. No, now he's mad at you guys. He's mad at you Jews. Sorry to tell you. It says so right here in the book. And he gave them over to plunderers who plundered them, and he sold them into the hand. He sold them. God sold people? What a dick. That is what it says right here. He sold them into the hand of their surrounding enemies, so that they could no longer withstand their enemies. Whenever they marched out, the hand of the Lord was against them for harm, as the Lord had warned, as the Lord had sworn to them, and they were in terrible distress. Then the Lord raised up judges who saved them out of the hand of those who plundered them. Yes, they did not listen to their judges, for they whored after other gods and bowed down to them. They soon turned aside from the way in which their fathers had walked, who had obeyed the commandments of the Lord. And they did not do so. Whenever the Lord raised up judges for them, the Lord was with the judge, and he saved them from the hand of their enemies all the days of the judge. For the Lord was moved to pity by their groaning because of those who afflicted and oppressed them. But whenever the judge died, they turned back and were more corrupt than their fathers, going after other gods, serving them and bowing to them. They did not drop any of their practices or their stubborn ways, so the anger of the Lord was kindled against Israel, and he said, because this people have transgressed my covenant, then I commanded their fathers and have not disobeyed my voice. I will no longer drive out before them any of the nations that Joshua left when he died, in order to test Israel by them, whether they will take care to walk in the way of the Lord as their fathers did or did not. So the Lord left those nations. He did not driving them out quickly. He did not give them into the hand of Joshua. Okay, so he just gave up. He's like, fuck them. I don't care what they do. Fuck them. Who gives a shit? Just let people be people, you know? Who cares, man? Let's all just get along. That's a good God. What's up, Maynard Saves? Maynard Saves, what did God do for the Hebrews? Apparently a whole lot of nothing. He was like, yeah, I'll sell you motherfuckers if you disobey me. I'll just let fucking all these evil, Jacobites take you, or wherever they're fucking come. I don't know who all these people are. I just know they're frickin', they're all at odds with each other, and doesn't make a whole lot of sense. It's not very logical. But multiculturalism is logical. It sounds good to me. It does good for people, and I don't see why that's a problem for people at all. It's just it should not be. And President's Day is President's Day. I what was that tweet we looked at earlier? Your least favorite president? We had some all right presidents. I mean, given the time and place, like, being charitable to what they had to work with, some decent ones. See if we got anything good on here. And try to make the best of all things, for today I don't want like a 10-hour history. I just want, we'll keep it simple. Keep it simple. That'll work for me. Everything's working okay over here? Yes, it is. Hey, Maya, good to see you. Thank you for coming by. Getting ready to begin another long, eventful week that I'm looking forward to.
This video was kindly sponsored by my supporters on Patreon. Before we begin, if you haven't already, please subscribe and hit the bell icon to keep up to date with all my upcoming history videos. Manny Man Does History. The President of the United States of America is one of the most powerful positions in the world. They are head of government and head of state of the USA, as well as Commander-in-Chief of the U.S. Armed Forces. The President must be a natural-born citizen of the U.S., at least 35 years old, and must have been a resident of the U.S. for at least 14 years. And they are elected through the hilariously overcomplicated electoral college system, in which the people vote for an elector to vote for the president, instead of voting for the presidential candidate directly, sometimes leading to a candidate losing the popular vote, aka the amount of votes cast by people themselves, and still winning the presidency thanks to the electoral college. In most states, whoever wins over half of the state's votes automatically gets all the state's electoral college votes. It works for those in power, and turkeys won't vote for Christmas. President number 1. After winning their independence from Britain, the newly formed United States of America decided to create the position of president, as opposed to possibly a new monarch. It was here the Electoral College was created, because the Founding Fathers didn't trust the masses of the 13 colonies to be informed about the presidential candidates. Instead, the people would vote for electors who did keep up to date with politics. Military hero and founding father George Washington was unanimously elected the first president of the United States in 1789, and he served 2 4-year terms, establishing a strong and stable nation. In the beginning, Congress was held in Federal Hall in New York City, but it was ultimately decided to locate the nation's capital between Maryland and Virginia along the Potomac River and would be called Washington, D.C. Philadelphia became the temporary capital while the new capital was being constructed. Tensions within George Washington's cabinet between his Secretary of State, Thomas Jefferson, and Secretary of Treasury, Alexander Hamilton, led to a split into a two-party system, becoming the Democratic Republicans and the Federalists. Washington wasn't much of a politician and more of a military man. As France followed America into their own revolution, Washington chose not to support them. He had the option of running for a third term, but he chose to step aside and let the country run without him. There were many myths later told about Washington chopping down a cherry tree and not being able to tell a lie. He also owned 317 enslaved people while in office, and they were freed not upon his death, but later after the death of his wife.
Oh, okay. No, we're fine. Everybody's fine here. Okay. And that's where we'll leave that one for sponsored videos and all that good shit. And, that's not good. That can't be good. It'll probably be all right. I bought a book today. Dun, 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 dun. This one at the Goodwill store. And, yeah. You read that one. Marginal material. We must consider certain episodes which form part of the ultimate story of Troy, concerning which we get little or no information in the Iliad. One such episode, the flight of Helen, we have already noticed, and we have seen that Homer knew it and accepted it, but made relatively little of Helen because she is not important in that part of Troy's story, which is the Iliad. If, however, we start from the story, as it has come down to us, we may state the following propositions and try to verify them in Homer. Oh, okay, yeah, that's the book. Anyway, I found that, and what am I doing? I have no idea what I'm doing. I'm gonna just let it go. I'm gonna let it go, let it go. I don't know the rest of the song, but you know what I'm talking about. Frozen. Everybody came to visit me tonight, and every Monday we'll try to keep a schedule or something. Much love. Be well. Stay trusty. Contribute to the society as a whole. And where's the thing? There's a thing I'm supposed to do. It's making me. All right, it doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Have a good night. Enjoy the rest of your week. I'll see you next time.